Remember this. You are the few with the courage to make history. You have the desire to take victory. You will be on a battlefield full of ghosts, but only you have that hunger. That hunger that makes you wolves.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our E3 coverage from the Inner Gamer. Be sure and subscribe to catch all of our reactions for E3 and the gaming industry as a whole right here on the Inner Gamer YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and bang that bell for all the updates you need to know. We are here with the Ubisoft follow-up, or Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, or something of that nature. Here we are, back again. The press conference happened today, hashtag UbiE3, and they opened, instead of a dance number this time, it was with a symphony number, and it was with Assassin's Creed Symphony, announcing their worldwide tour. So we didn't get video games to start off the show. We got a tour about a symphony that's going to play music. So if that gives you an idea of this conference, not about games, starting without games, you have an idea of what this whole conference was about. So let's jump right into it. You ready, Austin? You excited?
Bruh, I just want to go to bed now.
Oh my goodness. You're useless.
I'm done with this thing, man. E3's done. It's over. There's nothing left for us here, man. It all went with John Wick.
Hey, at least we got Jon Bernthal, So, I mean,
yeah.
You got another
He's
John.
cool.
You got another John.
He's just not John Wick.
That's true. So let's jump right into it.
Please.
So first game we have, starting right off the bat, they announced what we had already known to be leaked was Watch Dogs Legion. It's a new Watch Dogs game that's coming out on March 6, 2020. And in this game, you don't play as a particular character, which a lot of people didn't like the original character from the first one. People thought the second one was fine, but not any better. In this one, you can be whoever the fuck you want. You can be that guy on the street. You can be that guy over there. You can be that girl over there. You can be an old lady that speaks in a British accent and likes to kill people. You can be whoever you want. And then as you play through the game, you find and recruit more people to the world, so then you can switch it around. And supposedly every single character in this game that you can get, which I don't know where the limit is on this, because there has to be a limit. I mean, there would just have to be. There's no way they spent the last 3 or 4 years and recorded thousands and billions of dialogue trees for an entire full game. But with that said, they have many characters you can play, all of them voice acted, and you can play as these characters. You look for a character you want to add to your lineup, you recruit them, they join the resistance, and then now they play for you. Then when you're out battling, your character dies, that character is dead. You can't bring that character back. Then you got to have other characters, other operatives in your lineup to play as instead. So that's the gist of Watch Dogs Legion, taking place in London, as also leaked and now confirmed. And you can be whatever you want to be. So Austin, where do you stand on this game?
I think they're bringing an interesting aspect to the franchise, that you can be anybody. I want to know more of how this works. You have to go to somebody. Obviously, there's only going to be a select number of people you can bring on, because they can't have a plethora of voice actors.
It seems like that, but they claim you can be anybody.
There's a lot of...
I bet you it's just the same voices that they probably just mix and match 30 or 40 characters that they voice acted, and then they assign those 30 or 40 characters to 100 different skin types and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, so it's going to be something like that, yeah. Where there's a few cool ones with cool cinematics like we saw in the trailer, and then there's just a bunch of, you've been recruited, and it's okay, cool. So it's kind of like the Darkest Dungeon that way, where you have a bunch of people to pull from to do missions, I'm assuming. And it seems cool, but it's still in this awful game and world that I just have no desire to go into.
But it's a different world, Austin. It's London now.
I know. I mean, the world looks amazing. I mean, I think Ubisoft's always been good at creating these fantastic, well-designed worlds that are close to what it might could look like or has looked like in the past and in the present. But I just can't get behind the mechanics. I don't know. Yeah, I'll see more and maybe I'll get into it. But as it stands now, it's just not something that I care about.
Yeah, I mean, so the impression that I got with this game is, one, I expected a graphic upgrade, and I didn't feel like the graphics were any better than they were before. Fine, not a big deal. I'm okay with that. The other thing I noticed was that other than this hook of like playing as anybody you want, which, don't get me wrong, is an incredible achievement, and if they do pull this off, like, that's a really, really cool feature. This is another Watch Dogs. Like, you have your drones, you have your raids, you go in and shoot people, you achieve objectives, you drive cars, and you go around. You have a different location, and you have the ability. You have these two things that make it different, and then everything else is Watch Dogs, kind of like you said. So that's got me concerned, but I do like that they put a little bit more kind of character into this, which they tried to do that last time, and they did. There was some more character in the game, but in this one, like, I like that they pitch it as, you can make whatever kind of army you want to make. Like, if you want to have an army of grannies, you can have an army of grannies. Or if you want to have an army of crazy, bloodthirsty, crazy people, like, you can do that too. But again, it's all hearsay until we actually see it in action and play it and see how that operates and how deep that system is. Because, like you said, I feel like it's not going to be as deep as they make it sound like it will be. But it's a cool idea, and I think, I'm probably going to give it a try. At least like a free version or something if they give me the opportunity to do that, or like try it out ahead of time and just see what happens. Because I enjoyed Watch Dogs 1. I thought the ending was terrible, but Watch Dogs 2 I couldn't get into for whatever reason, and Watch Dogs 1 wasn't great. But like was kind of intrigued by the whole hacking ability and like the idea that they brought to the table. This one, I mean, we've been there, done that. New world, yes, but this like evolving story, multiple character NPC thing has to really, really sell it for me to get me want to buy it. Yeah. So, there's that. Yeah. But we'll find out more details as time goes on, and then March 6th it'll be out, so we'll know there. And then after that, after we saw this game of Watch Dogs Legion, they decided to not show games, but instead Rob McElhenney, who is one of the guys that is the front man of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, showed up on stage. And instead of him talking about a game, he talks about a TV show that he's making that was a collaboration with Ubisoft, because it's a TV show about people that work in a game development studio. So I would most closely associate this with, think Silicon Valley, the TV show, but in a video game studio. So it's about the trials and tribulations of making games, and it's a comedy. And this guy is a creative director. The main character, named Ian Grimm, or Ian Grimm is how they kind of stated it. And he's creating an MMORPG called Mythic Quest. And he's got a big ego and wants to put all the energy into this MMO, and it's going to be exclusively out on Apple TV Plus. I don't feel like this needed to be at this show. I like that they're doing it, but I don't think it needed to be at this show, because this show is about the games, and this is a TV show about games. But this should have been something that was like dropped as a trailer and like a hype up that way. Leave it out of E3, but that's just me.
I totally agree. I don't understand. I just don't. I don't understand this whole show actually, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. Adventure Time's coming to Brawlhalla. So now that Ubisoft owns Brawlhalla, they're bringing the Adventure Time series to it. Cool. I mean, I don't watch Adventure Time, but those that are in Adventure Time, there you go.
I mean, I think they're. Yeah, I mean, I don't care either, but it's cool that the game's still alive. They're still working on that, and they're helping grow that community with hopefully a new player base that may or may not have seen it, because I'm sure they're going to market this on Cartoon Network.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a great game, and if you haven't played Brawlhalla, you should go out and play it. Those guys at Blue Mammoth Games are pretty awesome, and you should give them your kudos, and it's also free to play. Then we had Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So I wasn't sure what to expect from this, because we've already had a big gameplay reveal, and they kind of did what I expected, which was we're not really going to show you a whole lot of new gameplay, but instead we're going to bring Jon Bernthal out for like, you know, to try and be like John Wick, but not be able to do that because John Wick is John Wick and Jon Bernthal is cool, but he's not John Wick. So they brought him out to talk about the Wolves, like his team that he manages as the star of this game. And they brought a dog out, and that dog was a badass. That dog was so chill, just like laying there.
I know.
Like,
I was like, what the hell?
I was like, that is a tame ass dog. That was impressive. Like that dog stole the show. Too bad John Wick wasn't there with his dog, because that would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to go with that whole thing or something. I don't know. But Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you know, new trailer, some more details about the game, but not really a whole lot of depth into, hey, here's all the other things you can do with this. But they did announce Ghost Recon Delta Company, which was kind of vague, but it sounds like it's a new community program where you can sign up, and it's glorified forums where you can probably interact with the developers of the game and then, you know, share stuff with the community. It's kind of like Discord, but without them making a Discord channel. Making you sign up for their own platform is what I'm kind of getting out of it, but it is what it is. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint coming out later this year, and I'm excited for the game, but there wasn't a whole lot to be had here with this.
Right.
I'm not going to talk much about this, but Ubisoft announced a mobile RPG called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. I didn't really dig it. Low graphics. They had a bunch of characters from like The Division and Rainbow Six and different games like that. It's like an isometric shooter, maybe a turn-based game, but it didn't really look like it was turn-based, but it kind of had that vibe. But it's a mobile game, RPG. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Man, we're just so excited about this conference, aren't we? Look at that.
I'm pretty burnt out with E3 right now, given all that's been announced or a lack thereof. So I'm not running on hype. I'm not running on the hype train. There's no hype train to get on, and I'm kind of worn out, man.
Well, surely you got hype when they came out with that dance number for Just Dance 2020.
Oh man, for I mean, 0 seconds.
0 seconds. They brought the Teddy. Hyped. They brought the freaking bear dressed up, and they brought the dance numbers, and that all happened. But
so hyped.
Moving on. For Honor, we had a limited time event they announced called Shadows of, I think, Security or something along those lines. Just a new event. So For Honor is still alive. You can still play it. It's there. It exists, etc. One thing that was absent from this show, and I was really, really shocked by, is Skull and Bones. No mention of that whatsoever. Like, where was Skull and Bones at?
Yeah, so
like,
apparently
that's a game that I thought was coming out.
Apparently it got delayed.
That's messed up.
So they weren't going to show anything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, that's peculiar because instead of seeing Skull and Bones, we saw a new Rainbow Six game, Rainbow Six Quarantine. And Rainbow Six Quarantine is a game that is 3-player tactical co-op. So they said that what Rainbow Six Siege did for tactical PvP, this game is going to do for 3-player cooperative games, or just cooperative games in general. There was nothing more than a cinematic teaser trailer of like a bunch of like scary things that are outside. I guess there's a plague or like something of that nature that are infecting people, and then so you are trying to kill all the bad guys and escape. And you know, I don't know if you have to lock them up or what have you, but it looked interesting.
It almost looked like they weren't actually there. They were like spectral things because you saw shadows, but there was nothing there. So confused.
Yeah, it might have just been like them like running off in the distance, and the way the light was shining like was projecting the shadow like offset a little bit. But it also could be that there were shadows. Who knows? Maybe it's like, what was that game, the XCOM game or whatever, with not the XCOM like top down turn-based game, but the other XCOM where they had those like, or like Prey, those like black like liquidy thingies that come out and try and kill you and stuff,
right?
But aren't actually figures. I don't know. But it was interesting. I mean, it's coming out sometime next year, so we'll see what they do with that. They had the creative director for The Division 2 come out, and he announced the updates for episode 1, 2, and 3, which will basically finish out the year. So episode 1 is going to be DC outskirts. You're going to go outside of the city and explore out there. Episode 2 is going to introduce something related to the Pentagon. I guess that's a raid on the Pentagon with the Black Tusk.
Right.
Is that what you kind of gathered from that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be cool.
So the second raid attacking the Pentagon. That's interesting. And then episode 3, this was weird to me because the creative director was really excited about this, and I was the opposite of excited. But he talked about how this is going to center around engaging in a manhunt, and they show those guys out there like on the beach, and they like see this clue and then talk about this dude that used to be like a friend or something. It sounded like, and then
he's part of. I actually dived into the lore not too long ago, and yeah, he's part of the reason the outbreak happened. And he's part of one of the characters from the first game. So he got away when you try to stop him. And now I guess you're going back to finish the job.
So this has been explained. It's just I haven't played enough of it to know then.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. Well,
that's why that guy was so... one of the devs out there who was giving the presentation was so pumped for it. It's like, if you don't know the story, which I think a lot of people don't because everyone fell off, you know? Just makes sense. Everyone's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is so
exciting. Cool. And then they're making a Division movie. And then he was just like, hey, we're making a movie. That's cool. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in it. And it's coming to Netflix. The end. So that was weird. And then, of course, as we predicted, I think I mentioned this in the predictions video, there is legitimately a UPLAY Plus in creation. It's called UPLAY Plus. It's UPLAY's subscription service coming exclusively to PC for right now. 100 plus games. It'll also come to Stadia next year. $14.99 a month. Starts September 2019.
Right.
So if you want to play all the games that Ubisoft brings out, but you don't want to pay for them as they come out, you can just pay $15 a month and play them whenever. But doing the math on this, $15 a month breaks down to about $180 a year. So Ubisoft would have to bring out over 3 games a year to make it cost less than buying them outright. But they don't bring out more than 3 games a year, largely considered, unless you add in Just Dance, which nobody's going to consider that.
Right. And
so
I just don't,
needs to be cheaper.
I don't think their library of games is that great. They're all pretty old games from the ones they showed. And it's like, me personally, obviously, you might have a different opinion, but they're just not games I want to go back and play. While Microsoft has obviously a plethora of titles that you might want to go back and play, and some that haven't been released too long ago. And
yeah,
I just feel like, hey, and it's only $10 on PC, or what is it, $5 on Xbox?
Yeah, so the $5 is just for the beta period. I got clarification on that. So for the beta period on PC, it's $5 regardless. Otherwise, it's $10 a month, both platforms separately. But with UPlay, like I think this is a good direction for them. I think they need a subscription service. I just don't think the price point is on point.
Right.
Like it should be cheaper because nobody's going to be playing more than 2 of these games at a time. So $14.99 a month is kind of a lot with all things considered. Like this year, I'll probably likely play The Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So if I have the subscription service, that means I'm paying $90 for each of those games for the year. And then after next year, I will not be playing them anymore because something new is going to come out that's going to take my time away.
Exactly.
So that's kind of weird, but maybe they'll drop the price. Maybe they'll change their mind and drop it to $9.99. If it was $9.99, I feel like it would be just around worth it. $7.99 would be even better, but $10 I could get behind.
I mean, I'm happy for The Division. Like, you don't have to pay for DLC, but at the same time, it's like if you had paid DLC and then you got this pass, then you're like saving money or just breaking even by the end of the year.
But I guess if you think about it, in comparison to people used to pay $15 a month for World of Warcraft, and that's one game.
True. Yeah,
and I thought that was batshit crazy. I never did that. I wasn't going to fall in that trap.
Right.
But people did it.
I mean, I would argue there's a plethora of game content there to dig into.
I know, but you got like 10 games that have a plethora of game content with Ubisoft.
Yeah,
in that consideration.
Yeah. Eye of the beholder, I guess.
Yeah. It's interesting, but I think they should drop the price.
I agree.
But then again, the leak came out that to be true. Roller Champions is the new sports-like game that they are working on, and this is something that's got a little bit of an Overwatch style art style to it. And it's a skill-based team PvP sports game where you play on a roller derby arenas, and you have a ball in your hand, and it's very much of them trying to kind of like combine the personality and character of Overwatch linked with the success of Rocket League, I feel like. But I don't know if it's gonna like how I gotta see the gameplay. They didn't show us any gameplay really, and that needs to be there. But apparently you can go to uplay.com to get a pre-alpha demo and play it like now, I think today. So,
yeah, I went on during the actual conference when they were still talking about it. It wasn't there, so it's probably there now. I'm sure they were waiting.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like to try it out. I mean, the concept is interesting. Yes, it's like a knockoff of Rocket League.
I think it's a nice evolution of it. It's not like you know PUBG to Fortnite, where PUBG to Fortnite is kind of an evolution as well, but this seems like less of a knockoff than PUBG to Fortnite does.
Yeah,
because it's like completely different sport, but it's still trying to take like the zany aspect mixed in with like a sport that's like untraditional, unconventional, which is kind of cool. So, but I just worry is like how the mechanics are going to operate. Is it going to feel slow? And then what the intensity level is going to be like. So only time will tell.
Yep. Is that all the games?
Nope. One more thing we got.
Okay.
Last but not least, they did a teaser of a new game that is from the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And this is a game that when I first saw this, the first thing that came to mind was, holy shit, they're making a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild clone.
Yeah.
And then you find out it's called Gods and Monsters. And it kind of is a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild clone, except with a different character and a little bit more color, maybe. I don't know. Not really.
Yeah, there's more color.
But yeah. But this is coming out February 25th of 2020. So not much else to be said. It looks really cool.
Well, we just got like a teaser trailer, and if it's coming out soon, why not just show something about it? I feel okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Because I want to go into a rant again. I'm full of rants.
Ran away.
Okay.
Ran away.
I feel like all of this content that was seen here at Ubisoft was just a waste of time, and this could have been just thrown out throughout the week without actually having to do a conference. There's no reason for it. And I feel like Ubisoft's tried really hard over the years, like to start their conferences off like big. Obviously, it's always been with Let's Dance, and that's not that great, at least in my opinion. And I like how they still threw it in there at the end of the day, but it's like, look, what are you doing, guys? Like, I feel like they're trying, but at this year, I feel like they're just like, here it is. Here's some info. We have something to show. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys,
I like the format when they do it, like how they did with the Watch Dogs Legion, for example. They come out on stage. They kind of tease you into like, hey, this is a new game that's coming out. And they show you like a 10-minute long gameplay demo. And then they have people come out on stage that made the game and talk about more in depth of what the game's about.
Right.
And then they end with a trailer. Like, I like that format, but then they didn't carry that format through with the rest of them because they already revealed Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That actually probably should have been saved for E3 because then that would have been like a bad, like if they had Ghost Recon Breakpoint reveal and then Watch Dogs Legion and then this like Roller Champions, that would have been pretty solid trio, like lineup. I feel like. But the hype had already been brought out for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I'm not really sure why they released it early. Maybe it's just because they didn't want to. They want to get ahead of the curve, possibly.
Yeah.
Of the E3 hype stuff, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. So
yeah, I mean, they had Jon Bernthal, and they thought that might be it, but then I'm sure it's like, oh fuck, they got Xbox had Keanu Reeves. We're so screwed.
Yeah. That definitely messed them up quite a bit.
Yeah, if they would have released it now, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'm just underwhelmed by Ubisoft and all of E3 actually. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Ubisoft, more in my older years of life than I am right now. But it's just there's never anything that's really exciting. I will say this: there was less cringe this year because I went back and watched highlights, and there's so much cringe last year. So much. It's so bad, man. It's just so bad. There's so much weird people and weird things that come out.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, they do have some weird stuff. I thought the announcements were kind of a bit more epic last year because they had, they showed Beyond Good and Evil 2, which was awesome to see. They showed off, a lot on The Division 2. They went into Skull and Bones, showcasing a lot of that. Starlink Battle for Atlas with Nintendo coming out. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was their big number. I mean, I guess they had about an equal amount of wow moments kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I was more intrigued last year than I am this year.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And maybe we should talk about everything that wasn't here that should have been here.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Freaking Splinter Cell. Where the fuck?
They are sitting on a golden egg, and they have yet to pull it out. Now, maybe they're working on it and saving it for next year or for Gamescom. I don't know. But they need to release that game again. They would just get a whole fan base back, I feel like, and really help the number. This was the year for them to shine.
It's been so long, and we just, everybody wants that. Everybody was, saying, give me Rayman, and then give me... everybody on the chat was talking Skate 4, Rayman, and Splinter Cell. That's what everybody wanted, and none of that came.
Oh,
and then whenever quarantine came up, they were like, "Oh, it's a Left 4 Dead clone." And then, and people were like, "Why are we getting another Rainbow Six already? Where's Splinter Cell?"
Yeah, why are you wasting your time with this? Well, it's because Rainbow Six has become this massive cash cow for them, and they want to pander to those fans, and I get that. But again, that didn't need to be shown at E3. I don't know.
Nope, definitely not.
I'm pretty much done. I just wasn't even paying attention most of the time. I was like, okay, I got the Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And that's basically what I came here for.
Well, hey, let's look to the bright side. We still have Square Enix.
Yeah. Oh,
which has already leaked some of their information.
That's just not good.
And then Nintendo is gonna bring it. They're gonna deliver something. It's just, at least with Nintendo, it won't be a shitty show. It may not be amazing, but it's not gonna be shitty.
Right.
It's gonna give us what we want. The Nintendo, they're happy people. They do good things.
And if you listen to this out of order, I apologize. But now you're gonna have to go and listen to everything. It's just listen to our progression of feelings and thoughts over this E3.
YouTube.com/InnerGamer. Click those buttons and then go to that playlist, Inner Gamer on E3, so you can see everything about our discussions on this. But this Ubisoft conference is fine. It had some good stuff in there, but nothing spectacularly, oh my gosh, jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
But oh well. It's cool. It's there. It exists. And that's it. So
that is it, man.
Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. I know you're super excited. Obviously, if nothing else, just come back to listen to us talk. That's worth your time. Just don't watch Ubisoft or don't watch the other conferences. Just wait for our impressions, and then you get it all in a nutshell. So,
and if you enjoyed the Ubisoft presentation and everything that was released, please let us know in the comments. I know some people did, and I'm not ragging on you if you did. If you did, that's great.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It just wasn't oh my gosh, this is everything I've ever wanted, but it's fine. I just didn't get my Splinter Cell, and I'm sad about that.
I tuned into Angry Joe as soon as they switched over to the little Major League Gaming thing they were doing and esports thing. And he was like, no, I don't want to watch this.
Oh my gosh, that ending was so abrupt too.
Just all right, that's
it's not all right, thanks everybody for coming. It was just cut. That was bad.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, do not forget to like this video and leave a comment below to let us know your thoughts about this topic. And as always, you can follow all of our E3 coverage right here on the Inner Gamer YouTube channel. And make sure you subscribe so you can see all of our upcoming updates from the gaming industry as a whole on this page. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you bang that bell so you get all the updates as they drop. And we will see you next time. Thank you for watching.